Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with a movie recommendation for you for the film Redux Redux. Here's the synopsis. Irene Kelly travels through parallel universes, repeatedly killing her daughter's murderer. As she becomes consumed by vengeance, her humanity hangs in the balance. Alright, so why am I recommending this to you guys? Well, the first thing that I noticed about this movie is that it immediately gets going. If you like it when your movies don't waste any time jumping right into the story, then you'll be happy with the way this movie starts off. I also think that it was a good call to do this because there are some character development points that do go a little bit more slowly throughout the film. That's not a knock on the movie, that's actually a good thing about it, but it's nice that the movie starts off with that upbeat pace because then you're ready to take a breath in those slower character development scenes. The next selling point for this film are the fantastic performances. Michaela McManus plays Irene Kelly, the vengeful mother, and she is so goddamn convincing as a mother with an unquenchable bloodlust. If we ever need an actor to replace the great Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, then Michaela McManus is easily my number one choice. Then there's Stella Marcus, who plays Mia, and I won't go too much into her character, but I'll just say that she is a rogue punk teenager with a very difficult past, and as you can imagine, she has a very hardened exterior and a very big chip on her shoulder, which Stella plays very convincingly, but she also has a little bit of a sensitive side that we occasionally see, and I think that Stella believably taps into both of these dynamics. Then there's Jeremy Holm, who plays Neville, and Jeremy just nails this disturbing and totally unlikable character. At one point, he delivers a line with such irreverence that it just made me seethe inside. You'll know it when you see it, and man, it is just so goddamn effective. And lastly, I gotta mention Jim Cummings. He's great in this movie. He's great in pretty much every film that he's in, but more importantly, he's just got a great eye for great scripts. Because basically every movie that he's in, I think, is pretty fantastic. Whether he's the main protagonist or just a minor character. But on to my next reason for recommending this film, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, but there are some legitimate character arcs. The movie does a great job of making us feel for Irene in the beginning of the film. I mean, I firmly came to understand why she's doing what she's doing, and frankly, I gotta say, I don't know, maybe it makes me a bad guy, but I definitely approve. But even I started to worry for Irene because it seems like there's absolutely no end in sight to her murderous vengeance. So this is a great starting place for a character like this, and I was absolutely compelled to see her journey over the course of the film. And without going into any spoilers, I'll just say that where this film goes by the end, in my opinion at least, I found the conclusion to be very satisfying. But it would be negligent of me not to mention the musical score. The best way that I can describe it is that it's like a synthy, Sicario-esque musical score. So it's got that aspect that keeps you at the edge of your seat and keeps your pulse pounding, but that synthy icing on top just helps to give it a little subtle sci-fi flair to it. And that brings me to my final reason for recommending this film, which is if you are a lo-fi sci-fi fan like me, you gotta check this movie out. I don't know what it is about 2026 between Iron Lung and now Redux Redux, but we are kicking off this year with some killer lo-fi sci-fi films, and I am here for it, especially because I loved Iron Lung, and Redux Redux legitimately gives Iron Lung a run for its money, for me at least. But yeah, at its core, this film is a revenge thriller. But obviously with the multiverse angle, there is a sci-fi component that is actually very important to the narrative and the plot. And I really just thought that the McManus Brothers, who wrote and directed this film, beautifully blended these genres together. This film definitely has elements of Frequency, Death Wish, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And if all that sounds interesting, then I definitely recommend that you add Redux Redux to your watch list and give it a shot. But those are just my thoughts, take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you heard of this film? Does it look interesting to you? Would you compare this to any other movies that I didn't mention? Let me know down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video but you want more information about what's on my watch list, what I'm currently watching, the kind of ratings I'm giving these films, as well as upcoming releases I'm looking forward to, don't forget to follow me on track.tv. My username is TIOLI_reviews. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and click it and start following me on Tracked, and I look forward to seeing you over there. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button, and until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh man, chicks don't want to hear that shit.